Hi, Neil here from Diagonal Move, and today I'm doing a very short video just having a quick look at a game I've actually visited before, and that game is Sprawlopolis. It's a game in which 1 to 4 players can build a city and spend a great deal of time puzzling out how to achieve the scoring conditions that you have to achieve in this never-ending puzzle of a city complex. It's town planning gone mad. It's a game that has just 18 cards, takes about 15 minutes to play, and in terms of pure component to gameplay ratio is simply one of the best value games that I have in my entire collection, particularly when you print and play like I have done here. It's a game that has been quite successful for the Button Shy Games, the company that make it, to the point where over a period of time they've added beaches and building sites and tourist attractions and a large lizard to the city of Sprawlopolis. But infusing about how wonderful I think this game is not why we're here. We're here today because, as all good people know, or good business people know, what you really need when you have a successful game is a sequel. And that sequel is Agropolis, in which we're building a large farm. Now, I'm not going to do a proper review, I'm just going to show you how it's different to the original game. And the reason I'm not going to do a proper review is because it's basically the same game. And it is full of all the same puzzly wonderfulness that the original game had. It really is a great game. If you've never played Sprawlopolis, don't really fancy a city building theme, been there, done that, want to try something more agricultural, get this, you won't be disappointed. You will have everything you could possibly want in this game that you would have had in Sprawlopolis. So why I'm here then is, why is this different? Is it a case of bigger, better, more? Is it just a simple retheme? Well, yes and no, to be honest. It's a very good, fun game, but it does repeat what's gone before, and let me show you quite how it works and some of the ways in which it is different. And some of the ways in which it's different are purely visual, and I'm just going to grab a couple of the cards here. So rather than having the residential and commercial and what have you, you have cornfields, vineyards, orchards and livestock. I'll come back to livestock in a minute because that is an important difference to the original. On the reverse of the cards we have scoring conditions as before, and these scoring conditions give you a seemingly endless combination of points scoring possibilities depending on how you are drawing them out of the deck, and you'd have 3 each time, and they would guide your city or your farm as it is now to completion, and those points would be scored over and above whatever points you would score for the basics of putting like things with like, and then of course deducting any of these roads from the display that we have. And so in that sense it is very similar, to the point where it is the same. But the scoring conditions are quite interesting. They seem to be somewhat more challenging in some ways, or just a little bit over and above. So for example, we have coops and loops from Agropolis here, which is encircling chicken pens with a road, and here in looping lanes we have a loop of a road, score you 12 points. And so in many ways there are some real similarities, and the differences, they've kind of replaced some things with the livestock and what have you, and the conditions for scoring are very similar. Now, perhaps the more observant among you would notice that the backs of some of these scoring cards have symbols on them. They have like what looks like a little bread bag and an animal. Now, when you lay out these the scoring like so, you would have your 7 plus 1 plus 11 points. So you'd need to score 19 points to win the game here with that set of cards that you have placed out. And that is you know, a challenge in its own right, most likely. The lower the points, generally speaking, the harder it is to do, I found. However, this sort of symbol here, which is a food bag and a cow, means that for every cow you have in the bottom of these points cards, you add an additional point. So in this case, it would be 11 points plus 2 there and 2 there. So it's going to be 19 plus the 4, which is 23. Hoping my maths haven't let me down in front of the entire internet. And that is quite an interesting thing. It is definitely a more is more element, and it's entirely optional as well. So it's interesting. Does make it more of a challenge for those of you who want more of a challenge. It could be said to complicate things slightly because, and I don't know whether it's purely because my print and play components, my printer was having an off day, but the animals are perhaps slightly hard to see. So we have cows, which are those kind of black and white blobs, and then we have these little specks here, which I believe are chickens. So the images are quite difficult to discern, and of course this is my print and play copy, but certainly in the copy that I have here, they do take a little bit of time to work out what on earth they're talking about when they start talking about chickens. And the other complication that we have, particularly with the livestock again, is, and I've not got a, there we go, this one here. So we have double pens, and so these will count for more points or less points depending on what the scoring condition is. And that really is it. I don't have them yet myself, but my understanding is that they will have the equivalent of the reptile card and the points of interest card and what have you from Sprawlopolis expansions. They will be coming out if they're not out already. But overall, this game, if you're interested in what the differences are between Sprawlopolis and Agropolis, it's basically the livestock, double pens, and the option to make life a bit harder for yourself in terms of the extra points for the feed fees as they're known. Okay, that's it. Nice quick video this time, and I hope I will see you again soon.